Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. This is the Saturday's episode of the program Shagalinku TV. My name is Ambassador Emmanuel Gabari, and it's good to have you all here again. Today, we're looking at something that's been on for a while. There's always this distrust and disconnect between the older generation and the younger generation. The older generation feel that the younger generation don't have what it takes to do business, do a whole lot of things. The younger generation still feel that the older generation are not giving them the opportunity to do all that. And that's why we're asking today that why is there trust deficit? Why why is it that the older generation are not beckoning on the younger generation, want to mentor them? I also believe that there's a whole lot the younger generation has to offer the older generation. Take, for instance, technology, internet, and a whole lot that is happening right now. The younger generation seem to be much better, than the older generation. I think if we have a synergy between the older and the younger generation, will be a better person for it. Anyway, my guests are here, and you can also be part of the program. Drop a comment on the comment section as you watch us. We're streaming in three destinations. We're streaming on Shagalenko TV YouTube page. You could get us on that right now live. We're streaming on Shagalenko TV Facebook live page, and we're also streaming on at Ambassador Emmanuel Gabari Facebook page. So these three destinations are where we're streaming on. And I have my guests here, two of them. Mohammed Sadiur Rahman, he's a research assistant, research and knowledge management for Disaster Management Watch in Bangladesh. And I also have my second guest, Assia Eraidi. She's an international relations student from the University of Milan, Italy. Let me bring my guests and let's talk. Hi, guys.
Yeah,
Hello,
hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. We're
Yeah,
good.
we're fine. Yeah. How are
Oh,
you?
wow. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. So
Yeah,
let me
yeah,
start. They said ladies first. Let me
yeah,
start with the
sure.
lady with us. Tell us a little more about who you are, what you do, and we'll come back and ask you a few more questions.
Ramon
Asia,
or
over to
me?
you.
Oh,
Hey,
okay,
you.
okay. That is first. Okay. So I'm Assia. I'm an international relations student at the University of Milan. I'm also a volunteer. I volunteer with Politics for Her, which is a feminist blog. I write articles. I manage its Instagram page. I also worked as a volunteer for the UN online and for the EVS, the European Volunteering Service. I'm passionate about a lot uh, of things, and I discovered recently to love in the entrepreneurship field and the social innovation one.
Okay, beautiful. You also didn't tell us you have flair for languages. Tell us how many languages you can speak.
I speak about 5 languages, four fluently and one a little bit. I grew up as an Italian Moroccan, so I've been talking since I was a child. 2 languages, it's easy, it's the standard for me. And then with time, I learned French and English, so it's Italian, Arabic, French, and English. And I had the chance to volunteer with the European Volunteering Service in Turkey for about 2 months to integrate, and because I'm very sociable and I talk a lot, and to make friends, I had to learn Turkish. So in 2 months, I learned Turkish also. I'm not that much good, but I can make conversations. I can survive.
Beautiful. So you will speak French for us before we leave the show.
Yeah.
Anyway, Roman,
Yeah,
Roman, let me come to you.
yeah,
What should we know more
yeah,
about
sure.
you? Who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Manuel. I'm Ruman from Bangladesh. I've completed my studies and two masters on in statistics, and another one is business. And after that, I have worked for national government in here for 9 years, and besides that, I have worked with two international organizations. One is from UK and another is from USA. And after that, right now I'm doing some research work with a research firm as a research assistant. And besides that, I'm doing volunteering since April 2020 uh, as a United Nations volunteer, and I have completed a lot of assignments and give a lot of recommendations even from the UNDP. And I have a keen desire to work with United Nations someday, and I'm working on that, and I'm praying for that. So that's all for me.
Okay, thank you very much. It's good to have you
Yeah,
all.
you're
So,
welcome.
people, yeah, so you can keep your comments coming on the comment session, and we'll be reading them as the program goes on. If you have a question for my guests, Assia and Roman, they'll be here to answer all of that. Anyway, let me quickly take these ones before I go on to ask you what you think about older generation and younger generation. This one is from Gabari Hefziba, and she says, "What a show." This other one here from Esther Akboyoma, it says the older generation are just being selfish, greedy, and for sure feeling unsecured because of their incompetence, because of laxity towards development and growth.
And growth.
What do you think about that, Roman?
Uh, okay. To Esther, I think older generation is sometimes being jealous or being insecure, but it doesn't mean that they are not good or all things. So this word or something like it's contain negativity. So we don't want to fight with the older generation. We have to work with the older generation because they have experience. They knew a lot of things than us. So we are
Mm,
advanced. We are using advanced technology. Okay, we are faster than them, but also we need them to work side by side to do anything. So I think it's not actually fully meaningful. So we have to do respect to the older generation as well.
yeah. Asia, what do you think about this? Why do you think the older generation are scared of giving the younger generation an opportunity?
I think this is not a recent problem. Like, I think that the gap between generations has always existed, and it is the gap of not only given the leadership but also values and the mindset. So the mindset is different, and that's why the older generation should learn from us, ask us more what are we doing and how is our mindset, and try to understand us as much as we know them and understand them, so we can collaborate and create something great. um, I think it's because they don't know us well, that's why they don't give us the lead and they don't trust us.
Mm. That's very fine. But Roman, let me come back to you.
Yeah,
The young
yeah,
people, like you said, they are blessed with technology because it's their
yes,
era.
yes,
They were born into the
yeah,
technology era. And like Esther said, that the older generation are just being selfish, greedy, and feeling unsecured. I think I got caught
yeah,
by that word unsecured because if the older generation know that the younger generation seem to have technology at their backbone, they should have easily found a way of synergizing with their wealth of experience and then
yeah,
mentoring younger people. Why are we having this disconnect when both parties can actually work together for good?
yeah, exactly. Actually, what is happening in here with the younger generation are always open-minded, and we try to learn even the older generation people or the senior people. But if I'm not wrong, they are not willing to take lessons from us because they think they are more experienced than us. Here are some ego issues, I think, and besides that, they also don't want to learn all the things they know because already you have mentioned the insecurity. So actually, if they can learn us, we're not gonna grab their position instantly, but we can support them and we can work with them in a proper way. So I think it's about the mentality which Asi has already mentioned, and it's about the trend they have followed before. But I think with the new generation, the younger generation, will gonna change these situations and the systems in near future with the help of
Mm,
technology and with the help of our mindset.
yeah. Okay. In case you just joined us, this is the Saturday's edition of Shagalinku TV. Please keep your comments coming. If you have questions for our guests, Assia and Roman, please drop your comments. We're looking at why the disconnect, why the trust deficit between the older generation and the younger generation. How can we begin to make both parties synergize and push forward? Drop your comments and we'll be reading them. Assia, if you can see this one from Ambassador Mubarak Afeko, all the way from Morocco. Please read this for us.
Hello, Excellency Manuel. I congratulate your guest, Dr. Assia Eraidi and Mr. Ramon, with the more success. Thank you so much, Mr. Mbarak Afku. And for me, Mr. Mbarak Afku is like a mentor, and he's the kind of people that helps and trusts the younger generation. And I think people like this should be, and we should have more people like Mr. Mbarak, and people that give that help, that are ready to mentor the younger generation and ready to guide them without judging them and without having those trust issues and ego issues. So
True,
this is a very wonderful characteristic that not everyone has from the elder generation, and that if
true.
everyone had it from our elder generation, this trust issue and this gap will not be there.
True. And thank you, Ambassador Mubarak, for watching all the way from Morocco. Okay, Roman, if you can see this second time message from Esther, could you
Yeah,
read
yeah.
and respond?
Yeah, sure. Our older generation should work hard in hand with the younger generation to know how to work together for the good of everyone in the society. Yes, I do agree with him. Although while we're using the new technology, they are not willing to learn from us how to use this technology or how to cope up with it. So I think in this case, they have to actually work with us and work harder to learn the things and to improve with the younger generation. So I do agree with Esther.
I would like to add something
Yeah,
to
yeah,
what
sure.
Ramon said. So I would like to say that in this pandemic, in this COVID
Yeah,
crisis, we discovered that our parents and our educators and our teachers from the elder generation are ignorant in technology. And they are digital immigrants. They don't speak the technological language. They don't understand its mindset, and like the statistics shows that the elder generation are neutral, or they don't really think that internet is important to this world. But we had to wait for a big pandemic, for a big global crisis, to understand that internet is important, and that access to internet is important, and people who don't have access to internet, or don't know how to use the technological tools, are actually the ignorant ones. So education is not anymore knowing how to read and how to write or how to speak
yeah,
different languages, but education now is to be open-minded, is to know how to use technological tools. Otherwise you will be like the elder generation, in
Yeah.
crisis, lost, and they don't know how to guide us.
True. I think a lot of people will be left behind if they also don't do all that. Please, you can share the videos, you can share the links, and get more people to watch us. In case you're watching right now from wherever you are, please share the videos and let others join us. Drop your comments just like others are dropping here, and I guess we'll be responding to them. And thanks to everyone who's been dropping their comments and reaching us. The videos will still be here after the show, so you can also watch it for those of you in different zones of the continent. Okay, I'll come back to Roman.
Yeah,
What is the reason for the disconnect? Because sometimes, like Assia made a very important point. She said it took the world the pandemic lockdown to realize that,
yeah.
you know what, we can actually be virtual, we can actually do things with technology. Prior to now, if the older generation see the younger generation on the internet, on the computer, on phone, all they think about is that they are just playing games on the phone or chatting aimlessly. They don't know the younger generations are also using this for research, and you work in research. So tell us how internet has helped you in your research work, and why the older generation need the younger generation to teach them some things that they don't know about.
Okay. In this case, I will give some examples from my own experience. Like while we do some research work for the analysis, we need to use some tools and softwares like Stata and SPSS, and this both softwares are very ancient. Maybe from the beginning of the research and the analysis, everyone is using this. But nowadays, there are some newer version of this analysis software like Click and Kobo and all other things. But the older researchers are not comfortable with the new technologies, which are much easier and accessible to for researching. So this is one kind of gap. And another thing is like in the UNV online volunteering. I was aiming to work with the UN for a long time, but it was not clicking. So all of a sudden, while I see that I can perform as online volunteer, so I tried, I applied, and I selected, and I worked with them, even in the research work. So what I have found over there, um, almost 30,000 online volunteers are working globally, and all of them are young peoples, only because of the excess of internet, using of internet and the technology, because all the assignments are based on technology and uh, uses of its and all other things. So why the 30,000 people are only young, not the aged or the older person? Because they are curious about the technology. So this is the reason, and here we can see the gap during the pandemic, that they are not actually capable, or they're not actually willing to use the technological advantages. That's why we are the young 30,000 people are working with the online with United Nations. So I think this is the reason they are not coping with us.
Okay. Okay. So let me come to Assia and also ask this very important question. How can young people begin to win the confidence of the older generation? Because as it is, it would take a whole lot of work, from the younger generation to begin to make the older generation realize that when you see us with our gadgets, when you see us on our iPhones, on our computers, on our phones, it's not that we're doing internet dating or internet chatting. We're actually doing research, just like Roman from Bangladesh said. Tell us what you think young people can begin. Should we begin to form pressure groups so that the older generation can realize that it's not that? But hold on, I need you to read this from Ambassador Mubarak in Morocco, who just sent in a message now. So if you could see it on the screen, Asia, just read for
Yes.
us.
Okay, can't you see that COVID-19 is one of the major factors blocking the skills of young people after safety decision return? how to give them opportunities and open the doors to success to build a better world for generations to come. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mubarak. I think that the COVID crisis is the factor that made the elder generation think about the younger generation, and they're like, oh, okay, they exist and we need them, we need their technological tools. Let's just think about a simple example. For example, the field of digital marketing, because with the COVID crisis, we couldn't go out. We cannot see publicity panels outside in the streets. So we had to watch ads on YouTube to understand that there are products and to know about new products. We see on Instagram ads, Facebook ads, ads on Google and everywhere. Who makes those publicities and who makes this digital marketing? Young people are doing this. And also the use of applications is increasing, and also startups. Young people are creating a lot of startups. All those things are showing the elder generation that the young generation is doing well with technological tools, that they are that COVID crisis or whatever it is, they cannot stop. It cannot stop this generation from growing and being successful. I think one of the solutions is that, okay, after this elder generation saw this problem and saw that young people have the leadership in solving this problem, we should start thinking about a different approach of mentorship, or what it's called reverse mentorship. Because usually when I say I have a mentor, people they think that an old person is giving advices and guiding a young person. But now I cannot have a mentor that is older than me for digital marketing, for example. Like a person of 50 years old cannot teach someone who is 20 how to do Google Ads or YouTube Ads. In this case, the elder generation should be humble and ask for our help. So we could teach them digital marketing. We could teach them how to work on algorithms, how to launch a startup online, and so on.
I like the part where you talked about being humble. It is very important because the older generation just feel that, yeah, they have years of experience, but then the younger generation also have shorter years of experience when it comes to technology. And technology is like the hub now. So for you, Roman, how do you feel each time have you gotten into a space where you need to teach the older generation, or let them know about the importance of technology, when it comes to research? Because the way research was done 10, 15 years back isn't the same right now. A whole lot has changed. A whole lot of processes have changed. You no more will need to do the analog way. A lot of times organizations send me soft copies of their questionnaires, and all I need to do is just fill and send back. Some questionnaires now are designed in a way that the respondents don't need to also type too many things. All you need to do is just tick an A or a B, or something that meets your immediate response to such question. So how, as a research person, how can we begin to make research easier and tell older generation to embrace technology?
Okay, thank you, Emmanuel. Um, there are a few number of people who actually want to learn from the younger or the juniors. So I did help to them, and they're willing to learn, and I was willing to help them. But most of the researcher and the older researcher are actually stubborn type, so they don't want to learn actually from the junior. They always want to teach them. So what we can show to them, like in previously, which types of feature research might need 10 to 15 days to complete the task. So we can do it within 2 or 3 days with the help of the new technology and the new applications and softwares. So we can show them that the we are showing them actually so we are showing them the thing is much easier than before. And even while we have to collect a lot of data from the field, so that was really hard in previous time while the older generation was doing their research. And right now we are doing it within 2, 3, or 4 days with the help of the technological tools and devices available. So we are showing them that we are doing great, we are doing good, we are consuming our times and like our hard, we are working hard, but it's technically and with the help of the device the hard work is giving us a result within a short duration. And in uh, in 2020 and 2021, in this era, we have to do everything fast and we need more faster. So we are copying up the technology and we are giving the result faster. So I think this is the point where they can realize that they actually need to learn about the technology and the IT tools and devices.
Hmm. Okay. So Asia, let me come to you on this because Roman talked about technology and how the older generation can leverage on that. What will you also say about um, the issue of using technology for the medical field now? A whole lot is happening. Prior to COVID-19, doctors will tell you have to physically be there for for the patient to be physically there. And I have said times with that number on the show that there should be some sort of way where people could use virtual, because you find that some patients might be very far away from health centers, and then some patients might not have money to transport themselves to the health facility. So with the COVID, with the pandemic, it made medical doctors, medical practitioners now realize that they actually don't need to be one on one with their patients. So you find a lot of medical practitioners now having virtual consultancy with their patients, going online through WhatsApp, through Facebook, through Zoom to do physical examination via virtuals. So, Asia, how do we begin to bring technology into the medical field to help out in this pandemic?
I think the technology was very important to help to prevent the COVID to increase more COVID and the COVID numbers, because for example when you do an analyze and you go to the hospital, or you do a test and you go to the hospital, you cannot just go again and be 100 people there waiting for just a test. So I think they created some apps so you can receive the results and you don't have to go there. And technology is evolving day by day, and thanks to young people, we see even that, as you said, that we can do the consultancy online. And I wanted to talk especially about mental health. Now a lot of young people created startups, created apps, so the psychiatric or the doctor can talk to each patient online. Or there are also non-profit websites where people can go and find a doctor that match them and that can solve their problems without them moving to a specific place. It's not just about the COVID crisis or preventing from the COVID itself, but it's also sometimes about privacy. Like sometimes someone has a mental illness and doesn't want to go there, to go to the specific place, but it can be, everything can be solved online now. The technological tools are solving, are preventing us from going and waiting for hours in the hospitals. or going and catching the COVID-19 just because we're waiting for a result. It's preventing us from going and making other people sick. So yes, I will in those days I will also participate to a hackathon which has as a thematic this problem. How can technology be used to solve health problems? So a hackathon is a competition where you participate 48 hours with other groups and you create solutions to problems, and those solutions can give birth to a startup. So maybe we can you can if you ask me after 2 weeks the same question, I will give you very very creative and innovative solutions.
Okay, sure. So, because you talked about mental health, and that also brought to mind that we need to do a topic soon on mental health and how we can also use technology to leverage on that. You know, what people, young people, because the truth now is people used to think that maybe hypertension, mental health, depression was for older generation, but we're finding that more younger people are tilting towards committing suicide, more younger people are suicidal, more younger people are hostile. So I think I'll bring you and Roman back again for a specific discussion on how young people can protect their mental health. But let me come back to you, Roman. What do you think
Yeah.
we can do? You know, what do you think young people can begin to do differently, you know, in their field using technology, you know? So yes, they don't need to wait for the permission or approval of the older generation. Because the truth is, if they keep doing what they are doing, someday, eventually, the older generation will come look for them. Like, oh, I want to do something in banking. They remember that, oh, this XYZ young person can handle that. Oh, I want to do research. How do I make it easier using technology? They'll say, ah, I know Rahman can do that. Oh, I want to talk about this. Ah, I know Assia can do that. How can other young people not get discouraged, but keep doing what they are doing, knowing that someday people will start looking for them?
Okay, thank you, Manuel. First of all, if you want to learn something by using the internet, we don't during the pandemic we don't have to go to in any learning center or in any campus, so we can learn from the online portals, and most of them are being free for the pandemic, which was paid in before, like the EDX and Coursera, and the degrees and the courses over here are provided from the renowned global universities like the Harvard, Boston, and many of them. So first thing, you can learn anything, any technological thing or any kind of research thing uh, from the internet. And second of all, if you want to do some research through internet, you can do anything just sitting down in your home. And also there were a lot of websites who can learn you how to do research from the beginning to end. So it's easy for everybody, whichever you are interested in, you can learn from the internet. And by the uses of technology and the internet, you can do anything or you can learn anything, even you can earn by doing some freelancing work. You can even work with the Cisco, with the Google, with the Facebook, just sitting in at your home, only because of the technology. And also I have mentioned about the United Nations volunteering, so you can do work with the global colleagues from around the world, different countries, and you will have the experience of working with global colleagues, and you can have a mentor or supervisor from the United Nations or the UNDP and the multinational organizations, and you can learn a lot of things. You can earn achievements, even you can earn some certificates, and you can earn some recommendation. And even though, who knows, after come passing out this COVID-19, maybe you can work with them in person only because of working with virtually with them. So don't take it lightly if you learn anything and if you are doing anything virtually, because by doing this you can even earn, you can achieve a lot of things, and it will be the pathway for your like career ahead.
Okay. We'll be wrapping up soon because I also understand that you guys are very busy. But Assia, can you read this before we wrap up? Before I ask you guys to say your final words.
Uh, the, well said, Asya. Thank you.
It's from Yasin Al Fadil. Yasin, thank you so
Um,
much.
Maybe one last thing that I would like to add.
Yeah, go on. Go on.
Yes,
Go on,
one more
Assia.
thing that I wanted to add is that actually, the generations we are like we can imagine ourselves like sitting in a rectangular table where where us as young we should choose a side, and who is at the head of the table. There are older people always at the head of the table, so they are the bosses, they are the leaders. But with the COVID crisis, we want to make this rectangular table a round table, because in this rectangular table, sometimes and often we are not even at the sides, but we are in the menu. But if we make it a circle, a round table, we will have a more open and free discussion. The ideas will go fluently, and we will have no hierarchy, no bureaucracy between the generations. So that's what COVID crisis brings as a good thing. Thanks God. So there is a positive. The positive side of this crisis is that now we are uh, throwing this rectangular table to make it round and to make everything more circular, no gaps, and more open-minded and a more open-minded mindset.
Okay. So, Roman, what's your last word as we wrap up the show now? What would you like to say?
Yeah, I think Asia has mentioned a very nice thing about the round table. So we can all share our opinions and we can all work together side by side. So I think I can send to the older generation a message that we can learn from you and you also can learn from us. So let's learn from each other and work together side by side and make the world better for living.
Okay. So I'll give
Yeah.
each of you 1 minute to send your greetings to anyone you want to, your friends, your colleagues, organizations, and people who have supported the work you do, people who have also empowered you, and all that. So if you have anyone you'd like to greet and using this platform to greet all of them, I'll start with Asia. Who would you like to greet with your 1 minute as we sign off the show right now?
Okay, I would like to thank you for inviting me. I would like to thank Mr. Barak for helping me and mentoring me in this time. I would like to thank also my friend Ramon that helped me in a lot of things, and say hello to my parents and all my friends and all the women that are empowering me, because it's not easy that a woman empowers another woman. So I would like to say also hello to my city, Milano, and to my home country, Morocco, and to everyone who is watching us. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Roman, what's your last word? 1 minute for people you'd like to greet and organizations that have supported the work you do.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Emmanuel. At first, I want to thank you, and of course, Asia for inviting me for the show. And I want to thank my parents, my mentors, my teachers, and especially two mentors of mine. One is Mr. Francisco from Brazil. He's working in the UNDP New York. And another person is Mr. Abdul Kayum. He is the head of the communication in UNDP Bangladesh. Because these two guys is a great mentor to me. So that's all for me.
Okay. Thank you all for joining us. And I really want to thank everyone who joined the show today. This is a Saturday's episode of Shagalenko TV. And thanks to everyone who sent in messages, everyone who joined in. And sorry, so many messages that we couldn't read on the other line. I'm trying to open them up, but then it's not opening. But then we'll bring my two guests again. I want us to look at mental health issues from the younger generation. So I'm going to try and see how we can fix the time again to bring Assia and also bring Rahman back on the show. So I really thank everyone who's joined and just got this message here from Mubarak, Ambassador Mubarak, and it says, congratulations to you all with best wishes. This is Mubarak from Morocco. Thank you so much. And thanks to everyone. The videos will still be here after the show for people to watch. Please do comment, share the videos, let others also watch. We have a lot of viewers from different parts of the world, and their time zones are also different. So the videos are here both on YouTube, on Facebook, and all of that. Don't also forget to like our Facebook, our social media pages, actually, Shagalinko TV on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all the social media handles. It is at Shagalenko TV. We'll be coming your way next week with a fresh edition of the program. Once again, my name is Ambassador Emmanuel Gabari, and thank you all for finding time to join us. And a huge thanks to my guests, Assia, and also to Roman, all the way from Bangladesh. Assia is in Italy, and she's an international student. And Roman is also a research assistant, research and knowledge management, disaster management watch in Bangladesh. Thank you all for joining us. Till I come your way again next week, Tuesday, same time, and with a different topic. This is urging you all to have a blissful Saturday, and remember to stay safe and do enjoy the rest of your Saturday. God bless you all, and bye bye.